In just 4 weeks of operations against Iran, the United States used more than 850 Tomahawk missiles, a pace so intense that it triggered an internal warning. How long can this level of firepower actually be sustained in a prolonged conflict? During the first month of U.S. military operations against Iran, an unusually high volume of cruise missile strikes was recorded. According to reports from outlets like Financial Times and Bloomberg, more than 850 Tomahawk missiles were launched in that short period, a number considered extremely high, even by modern warfare standards. That figure quickly drew attention inside the U.S. Department of Defense, mainly for 2 reasons: the direct impact on strategic stockpiles and the real capacity of the defense industry to replace that volume. Most of these launches were carried out by the U.S. Navy, using destroyers and submarines positioned in strategic areas near the Persian Gulf. What started as an operational detail quickly became a broader concern about logistical limits in high-intensity warfare. Consider following our page and stay updated on U.S. and global military developments. To understand the weight of this number, you need to look at what the Tomahawk Block 4 represents within the U.S. military. This cruise missile was designed to strike targets at distances exceeding 1,000 miles while maintaining high precision even in complex environments. It's launched from naval platforms such as Arleigh-Burke-class destroyers and attack submarines, and relies on a combination of advanced navigation systems, including encrypted military GPS, TERCOM, or terrain contour matching, and DSMAC, which uses visual terrain recognition. Together, these systems allow the missile to fly at low altitude, following the terrain to avoid radar and air defense systems. In practice, that makes it highly effective against command centers, hardened military installations, and critical infrastructure. From an industrial standpoint, production is led by Raytheon Technologies, one of the major players in the U.S. defense sector. Each unit can cost between $1.5 and $2 million, depending on the configuration. But the real issue is production capacity. Unlike conventional munitions, the Tomahawk depends on a highly specialized supply chain. Turbojet engines from specific suppliers, high-precision navigation sensors, and military-grade electronic components with strict certification requirements. As a result, annual production has historically ranged between 300 and 400 units, based on industry reports cited by outlets like the Washington Post. In other words, in just 1 month, the U.S. used the equivalent of more than 2 years of production at a normal pace. Looking at the timeline of the operation, the most intense use of these missiles happened in the opening days. That points to a clear strategy: rapidly neutralize high-value targets. Among the primary objectives were military bases, air defense systems, and command and control centers. This approach follows a well-known doctrine, often called a shock phase, designed to quickly reduce the enemy's ability to respond. However, as the strikes continued, the volume of launches began raising concerns inside the Pentagon. Officials cited by outlets like the New York Times indicated that stockpiles positioned near the conflict were significantly reduced, although exact numbers remain classified. At the same time, replenishing these missiles faces clear limitations. Production is not keeping up with the rate of consumption. The industrial base was not designed for sustained surge demand, and reliance on specialized suppliers creates bottlenecks. Another factor increasing the pressure is the nature of the adversary. Over decades, Iran has structured its military infrastructure in a decentralized way, with many facilities located underground or heavily fortified. This reduces the effectiveness of single strikes, and often requires multiple hits to achieve operational results. At the same time, the use of low-cost drones and missiles by Iran-aligned forces creates an asymmetric battlefield. A single Tomahawk can cost up to $2 million, while a tactical drone may cost less than $50,000. That gap creates a direct financial imbalance on the battlefield. The impact of this dynamic goes far beyond the Middle East. Every missile used in this scenario is one less available for other strategic regions, especially the Indo-Pacific, where the United States maintains a constant focus on military balance against other powers. In the end, this situation reveals a deeper structural issue. The U.S. defense industrial base, optimized over years for efficiency and stable periods, is now being tested by the demands of sustained, high-intensity operations. While the Department of Defense evaluates measures to expand production, including new contracts and industrial scaling, other countries are watching closely. Because more than just the number of missiles fired, what's really at stake is the ability to sustain modern warfare over time. And if you liked the video, don't forget to leave your like right here. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new content.